Alright, this is a daily chart of BBRY. In this video, I want to talk about some of my updates and the importance of a plan versus a plan with confirmation. And I have a really great example. This is a really great video, so pay attention. BlackBerry is a stock I talked about, and I've given a lot of updates, and I think the stock has potential for strong gains. The last trade I got in, I made 100% in options, and I'll explain that. But I got in on after the earnings. This is earnings after the earnings day. It confirmed my entry point, and I made 100% in the 10 calls. I'll explain that later. But anyways, and I made a lot of nice percentage gains in BlackBerry, and I'm looking to make some nice strong gains in BlackBerry if it can confirm. And I want to explain that. But anyways, my style is looking at stocks that have good patterns and that they confirm. And BlackBerry has failed to confirm. And I want to show the difference between just entering stocks and entering stocks with confirmation, because I've only made money in the stock. I've maybe entered 5 times in the stock during the past few years for the main direction, and lost only once, very, very small. And I'll actually show that. Well, I'll tell you the story. The last time I entered the stock was in this area here when it popped. But because it failed, I exited. And people said to me, oh, you should hold. And look what it did. Kaboom! But anyways, this is a fact. It's way back there, whether you want to believe it or not. And I also entered back in the glory days when it was rallying nice and strong. And then it failed. I never got in it again, and it just went lower. But anyways, let's go back. And then again, there's been I also participated in this one as well, and the last one was this here. But anyways, and I exited on this day as well. But since then, BlackBerry has failed to confirm any of my entry points. But I want to show a really important point. That was the history. Let me show you something now. Let's go to Siri Dundelli, Siri Notes, who has, by the way, 1,211 followers after having 5,509 ideas. That means very few people listen to what he's saying per all the million charts he writes. But let me show you really something important. You can check out that video I have on my profile page. Go to my profile page. You should check out this video. Study the amount of messages. This really has some really important points I want you to really think about. Okay, and this is really important, people. So anyways, let's go back to BlackBerry and what he said here. Okay, now this guy doesn't use confirmation points. I want to show you what happened. Okay, he looked good in the beginning, but let me just click on this chart here. EL means entry point, so you can see long entry 980, but that's what this means. EL 980 entry. And ST is the stop 870, and then he has his targets, which is all good. But let's see what happens. Let's go to the chart here. This is BlackBerry. And on the day he's talking about, which is September the 26th, which is earnings, so they entered at 980. Okay? And so what happened was he looked pretty good. He got in at 980 and the stock closes at 1026. You know what I was saying? I said the stock has to confirm. I think at the time I said I had to break 1050. I have to go really back to those days. If you really look in my stream on my updates of BlackBerry, I've been just bang on. His stock couldn't confirm, and it's since actually I warned up over here, and it couldn't confirm the 1120 entry. And look at the fall. Right? I don't guess. And you want to know something? And I'll explain you why. What's the difference between strategy and just all this guessing that people do, that a lot of people do out there, and that's why they never make big money. They lose money in the market, and I'm trying to help people and explain the facts and the truth. So anyways, let's go to my update, my last update, and let's see the difference, and let's see what happened. Okay, so here's my last update. We'll click on it. See, you'll see a lot of likes and a lot of people writing, a lot of likes. Anyways, I said this. This was on October the 8th. You'll always see me say the date I make the chart. I said that a new breakout point for BlackBerry is 1025. Now, that's when it was at 922. Now, you're saying, wow, it has to go up a lot. Yeah, because it actually lost a lot of ground, right? And it hasn't been able to confirm. And there's a reason. This 1025 is really important, by the way, of all my calculations that I look at, for BlackBerry to really resume its trend. And I don't care if I have to pay 1025 in the 1025 area. If it means my odds are in favor of making 100% gains, that doesn't matter. Instead of guessing and hoping and praying. You know something, people? A lot of people thought that the low in 2013, and I warned the BlackBerry longs about that, was at 14 something. A lot of people, I can guarantee you this, but I said the facts. I said it has to confirm it. Could never confirm it. Instead, they killed it. That's another lesson to learn. I don't know if anybody, you can see this is a wedge pattern, by the way, and that's a fucking breakdown of the wedge pattern. That's negative, and look where the stock went. That's horrible investing. I'm going to catch this BlackBerry. I'm a BlackBerry bull, if it confirms. And I'm going to make money. I made money during some of these runs, but I also got out of this stock and have never been able to really get back into it. Actually, sorry, the last time I got back in, as I said, over here, and I had to get out for a loss. This is where I lost because it reversed. I got the hell out right away. I remember to this day people saying, "Oh, you're making a mistake." Yeah, I made a mistake. Look at this. Kaboom. I should have shorted it. But I wasn't focusing on that until recently. But that's another story. But anyways, not that I'm going to short BlackBerry now. Really, it's not worth my time. I can do better in a whole bunch of other stocks. I don't want to be caught in the chop zone. But I can assure you one thing. Even at this point right now, the breakout point remains at 1025 on heavy volume. Check out my last update. But I never was stopped out on this. We never entered, right? Look, if you look what happened, it actually went lower and has now recently come up a little higher on low volume, which I don't like. When the stock confirms, and I'm going to prove this, again, I've proved this a million times, we're going to probably make money right out of the gate, power trigger trade style, because I've proved this. Siri Notes stopped out already, by the way, people. 870, right? And take a look. So BlackBerry, so he was bullish this, but his plan failed already. My plan, I'm ready to catch this. And you want to know something? I want to show you something else. TAP. In the meantime, I looked for a stock to go short, very low risk, and I had a plan. The stock had to trigger the plan, and I want to show you this. This is what I sent to my special followers. I want to show you this. Okay, let's go to my profile. This is what I do, people. I send proof and facts. That's why I have a lot of followers to the ideas that I have, and a lot of the ideas I put out there aren't really relevant stuff. It's it's waste. But for the little that I do post, really good stuff that I post, a lot of people want to follow me. Now let's take a look at this great example, TAP. I'm going to click on the chart. I sent this on October the 10th. This was a Friday, I think. This was a Friday close. I sent this on the weekend to my followers. I said, if this breaks below 72, could send this to 65. TAP is set up to break up or down. So I have instructions and I have breakpoints. Just because I think this could go down or up, I needed it to act on information, on fact. The price was 73.27 at the time. So I wanted to make sure that it was bearish, so it had to fall, right? Or it had to rise. And it couldn't it fell. So let's take a look what happened with TAP. So you can see, I talked about it on this day, which is the 10th, right? It confirmed on this day, and then this drop here, believe it or not, was 100% gains in options. Because if you bought a 70 put, and I bought that 70 put while the stock was trading at 72, and from 72 it falls to a low of 66.17. It didn't even have to fall that low. That option, let's say they were worth 225 each. That's what they were. Let's say they're worth 225 each. They went to 450. That's a double. So if you invested, if you bought 20 options and those 20 options are worth $10,000, you made $10,000 on that move, and it went 0% of gains. But that's plan, that's confirmation, that's a lot of facts, and I explained that to my followers, and they witnessed it. And that's what I'm about. You can never. I can guarantee you this, you'll never catch these type of gains. And I've caught gains in BlackBerry, probably more gains in BlackBerry as a short term, as I believe that's more of a trading stock than anything. Maybe now it might be a good investment stock for the short term. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. I'm not going to guess. I want the facts to come, the volume to come in, because there's a lot of people that are negative against that stock. But regardless, the volume and the price will tell us the truth. But, you can see for yourself, this is what happened. You can see you should check out this video. But anyways, let's go back to BBRY. BBRY, I'm going to type out BBRY. BBRY, in my opinion, is still setting up. It can chop around and it can go nowhere. In the meantime, I'm going to be going into other stocks that can make me a lot of money as well. I put BlackBerry in my radar. It's one stock that I do like, and it's made me lots of nice money. It's very easy for me to trade it because I know it like the back of my hand. And when I tell you people numbers, I know what I'm talking about. I told people this was a fake rally over here. And then I said, you know what? I looked at the statistical facts and said, but if it could break 1120, and I said this, you can go check the dates on my stream, like September 15. You can look for updates. You'll see. You read my instructions. This stock could never confirm my instructions. And you know what? It did. It fell from 11 to this. I mean, I haven't been focusing on shorting, but I would have made another 100% on shorting the stock. That's 200% gains going long and short BlackBerry. Am I talking about shorting BlackBerry right now? No, I haven't been. I've only been focusing on the long side, right? But what I'm good at is the trigger numbers, and my style is on fact. And I've showed you the difference between my style and Surrey Notes, and he stopped out and he's made no money, and he put that plan in, and I bet you any money he's never went into that stock. Thanks for listening. Like the video.